What's up, everybody? This is CJ Thomas, and this is Would You Eat It Wednesday. Today's topic is apple cider vinegar. Would you eat it? Or is this some kind of hoax? Is this some kind of thing where it's totally been blown out of proportion? Apple cider vinegar, maybe you've heard some good things about this, but is there really any evidence to back this up? Well, we're going to talk about it. We're going to go into detail today, but you should know, first and foremost, that this has been around for a while. Apple cider vinegar, not just some trend that's sweeping the nation right now. It's been around since 5000 BC. In fact, Hippocrates, a name you may recognize as the father of modern day medicine, Hippocrates used to prescribe this to patients for symptoms like cough and cold and that kind of stuff to help them get better. So, yes, it does have some history to it, and what is it? It's basically you take apples, you turn them into apple cider, which has a lot of sugar in it, but then you ferment that. You ferment the apple cider, which we're used to drinking, during the fall time season, that kind of thing. But that fermented apple cider, you use yeast and bacteria to digest the sugars that are in there, and that becomes an alcohol. Then you ferment it a second time, and that turns that alcohol into vinegar, and you have yourself apple cider vinegar. So a little bit of a process to get there. You probably don't want to do this one yourself unless you've got some time on your hands. This takes at least 6 weeks, maybe a couple months for it to turn out into a product for you. So maybe something you want to delve into, but it is pretty readily available at stores around us, okay? So what makes apple cider vinegar good? A lot of times when we're talking about foods, we're talking about a list of micronutrients that makes it super good. I've got rogue chickens jumping on the deck right now, distracting me. Sorry. But this is not the case with apple cider vinegar. We've got a case where it does not have a lot of nutrients, so not a lot of micronutrition in there. So the thing that really sets it apart is it has probiotics, which is very good for us. It has enzymes, and it has acetic acid. So acetic acid is something that really sets it apart from a lot of other foods. This is not something you find in a lot of other things. So this comes in handy in a lot of different ways, as we'll talk about here. It is also antibacterial, which again can be very useful in a lot of different ways, which we're going to discuss right now. You ready? All right. Lengthy list. Strap yourself in. This is a lot of stuff, okay? What does it do? Okay, this is the question I got asked at boot camp today that prompted this video. I was sitting there trying to recall, why am I putting apple cider vinegar in my drink every day? I know it's detoxing, I know it can help with coughs and colds and that kind of stuff, but I kind of had a vague recollection. So I'm doing the research for you, going in and telling you everything that I could find that apple cider vinegar does, okay? The first thing it does is it helps with your good gut bacteria. So we want to feed those good guys in the gut. They need to be fed just like you need to be fed for you to optimally function the way you should be functioning, okay? The good bacteria, if they're winning the battle down there, then you're going to be healthy as well. So you got that, you got diabetes, okay? So diabetes becoming a growing epidemic in this country, sadly, but very true. But it can help with diabetes, okay? How does it do that? It helps by increasing insulin sensitivity, okay? So it's helping to regulate insulin, and it's helping to regulate your blood sugar. So these are two big factors that we have to consider when we're thinking about diabetes. And again, as awesome as apple cider vinegar is at helping, you still want to eat a healthy diet in combination, okay? So none of this is permission for you to go out and take some apple cider vinegar and eat an Oreo alongside of it, okay? So it's not miraculous, but it is doing some really good things, helping with the insulin, helping with the blood sugar, helping to regulate or maybe backtrack or reverse diabetes if that's one of your goals, okay? So that's one thing. Also, cough and colds, we mentioned Hippocrates recommended that back in the day. Some people, I found that you can actually snort diluted apple cider vinegar to unclog your sinuses. So if you're all clogged up sinus wise, you can dilute some apple cider vinegar with water, you put it on your head, and you actually snort it up your nostril and get that in there. The antibacterial effect can actually help to break stuff up in there. So, if you're brave and you want to snort something up your nose when you're all stopped up, that may be something worth giving it a try. Let me know if that works for you, okay? So I haven't tried that one myself. That's on you. You check it out. Gargling. You can use this to gargle to combat a sore throat. So if you got a sore throat, you can gargle with this. You can gargle with it straight up or diluted, either way. You can also use this for skin remedies. So there's a lot of things it works for with skin. One of those being acne. Okay, so acne, again, This being an antibacterial substance, this can help with clearing up your skin and reducing scarring and that kind of thing. Has been said to help with poison ivy, bug bites, and sunburn. So you can apply it topically to the skin, whether diluted or not. You can apply it, and it's supposed to help with some of those things. Again, I haven't used it for these things, but I'm interested to try it. I'm bound to get burned sometime this summer. You can see my fair, pale skin. Summer is coming, and it's gonna hurt at some point. I just know. So we'll try it out at some point. Aside from skin, you've got, it relieves acid reflux. Usually when we get acid reflux, it's a symptom of not having enough acid in the stomach, which is counterintuitive. You would think there's an overabundance of acid, which is why you're getting the reflux, but it's actually too little acid. So you're putting some apple cider vinegar, which has that acetic acid, into the body, and that's helping to clear some of that acid reflux up, okay? So adding the acid in, good thing in that scenario. And then this can also fight fungus, helps with detoxification, helps with your pH levels, lymphatic drainage. You've got circulation that it can help with. We mentioned gargling. You can gargle, and also helps with bad breath and even whitening teeth. So there's a couple things orally with the teeth and in the mouth that it can help with as well. Helps with removing warts. It helps with nutrient absorption. So actually taking this, before a meal or after a meal, it will actually help you to absorb some more of the nutrients from your food, maybe break down that food a little bit more. Same concept if you were to add this when you're making your bone broth, your homemade bone broth at home. Obviously, that's another one that's super good for you. And you put your bones in the crock pot and you add water, and it'll just sit there and you let it cook for a while. But if you add just like a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar into there, not like a quarter of a bottle like I did one time and really messed things up, but you want to add just like a tablespoon in there, and that helps leach all those minerals out of the bone and into the liquid, which is what we were going for, okay? So you want all those nutrients to be absorbed into the liquid so you can drink your bone broth and be super duper healthy, right? All right. A few more things that it does. You can use this around the house. So we talked about a lot of things it does in the body and on the body. Around the house, you can use this as a cleaner. You can kind of dilute it and use it on your tabletops, on your countertops, all that kind of stuff. Again, antibacterial. So it's very good for this kind of stuff without using the Clorox and that kind of stuff that is actually very bad for any of your good bacteria, any of your microbes. You don't want to be cleaning with that kind of stuff. It's not good for you. So you want natural remedies and solution. Bad for the bad guys, good for the good guys. Like we said, good for your good gut bacteria. You have bacteria on your skin too. There's a microbiome outside of the body. So we want to consider all this stuff, okay? It's not just you, the person, the organism. We've got all these little microorganisms around us that we got to take care of too if we want to be optimally healthy, okay? So you use it for cleaner. You can use it as a weed killer. There's a formula for that. Neutralizing odors. You can use it as a veggie wash, okay? Getting some of those pesticides and that kind of stuff off your fruits and vegetables can be very good for getting that off of there. Obviously you want to buy organic when you can, but some of this stuff still gets some nasty stuff on there, so you want to wash sometimes when you're thinking that might be an issue with your food. As a polishing agent, you can use it on your hair. You can use it to fight dandruff, okay? So again, this would be a diluted half and half water and apple cider vinegar on the hair. You put it in there, and it's supposed to help with dandruff as well, okay? You can use it for deodorant. You can use it for oral health. You can use it for foot and body odor and aftershave. The list seems to go on and on. Bug sprays, killing off bugs and fleas. This is one I thought I would mention. I know we got a lot of pet owners in my group, so you people with your dogs and your cats, I know, those medications can be kind of harsh on the animal. This is a natural substance. So again, equal parts water and apple cider vinegar. You put it in a spray bottle, you spray this on your pets, and that helps get rid of the fleas instead of the more, some of the toxic remedies out there. If you love Fido, you got to take care of him, make sure he's taken care of, right? So other than that, how do I use apple cider vinegar? I use it in my morning detox drink. So I've got water, you put the water, you put a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in there. I got a big jug of water, so it dilutes in there. I put my Himalayan sea salt on top of that, so just a few shakes of Himalayan pink sea salt in there, and I'll put water or lemon with that. So you squeeze a lemon, maybe half a lemon, maybe a whole lemon you can squeeze in there, and that also has some detoxing effects. Good for it's got the vitamin C content and a lot of other benefits that don't need to get into right now, but that's my detox morning drink right there. ACV, apple cider vinegar, water, lemon, and a good source of salt. Don't use that white salt stuff. Go check the salt video if you need to, but you want good pink Himalayan sea salt or kosher Celtic sea salt, something like that, okay? Don't just trust the word sea salt. Go to the salt video. I'll explain it in there, okay? So Some warnings here. Some warnings that you want to look out for. Taking shots of apple cider vinegar, okay? This is what, I did when I first found out about this. If a little is good, more must be better, right? So you just start taking shot. And you think you're being tough, you think you're doing more for yourself, you think you're being tough, and I'm gonna take more than is recommended, but that's not doing anything for you. In fact, it may be causing more harm than good. You want to dilute this stuff when it's going into your body. Keep in mind, this is acidic. This is acetic acid going into your body, so you do want to dilute it a little bit before you take it internally. If you're putting it externally for something, you can use it straight up. If you're gargling with it, not going to swallow it, you can try to take it straight up that way, but don't swallow it shot form. You want to dilute it a little bit, and there's a couple reasons you want to do that, okay? Because it can damage, first of all, your tooth enamel, so you want to probably not swish with this too much. While it can have a teeth whitening effect, it can be a little abrasive too. It's acid. It can wear away at the tooth enamel and at the bone, and it can also be a little rough on your tissues of your mouth and your throat. So you really don't be a tough guy. Don't be like me when I found out about this, okay? Dilute it in water if you're taking it internally, and that'll be the best way to do it. What are you looking for when you're going for apple cider vinegar? You've got organic, unfiltered, unprocessed, and raw. Those are the four things you're kind of looking for, okay? Organic, number one, unfiltered and unprocessed, and raw. Those should be some of the things you find on the label. Bragg's is the brand that I recommend, Bragg's apple cider vinegar, and that's how I do it, guys. So Bragg's apple cider vinegar, you find that pretty much anywhere. B-R-A-G-G-S. I should have gotten the bottle out here to show you, but you'll be able to see that. You want something that's got some of that murky stuff in there. It should be kind of murky on the inside. That means it's got the mother culture in there. So that's the probiotic, that's the bacterial substance, that's all the good stuff in there. If it just looks like apple juice, that may be a warning sign that you're not really getting what you're looking for here, okay? Bragg's apple cider vinegar has 0 calories in a serving, which is like a tablespoon, so it's nothing. Lots of benefits, but you can overdo it. So that's my synopsis. That's everything you could possibly ever need to know about apple cider vinegar. Maybe there's probably more stuff out there, but yeah, I think we covered a lot here, and I think maybe you should have some of this on hand at the house for any of the many list of benefits that I talked about today. If you got more questions, if you got more things that you'd like to see me do videos on, please let me know, and I will make it happen. Thank you for watching. As always, I am CJ Thomas. Would you eat it? Apple cider vinegar. Do it, baby, but dilute it. Remember. Got it? Good. See ya.